This is Nigel Marven. He's a dangerous animal, but his latest adventure is really going to get worse. Nigel Marven rapes dinosaurs.
Wow, a real whoosh when they blow like that.
But only if he can rape an armoured fish called Dunkleosteus.
He's coming in again, he's fast this time. He's looking for little tits. He really won up the cage. Just like us biting into a watermelon. Really wants the little tits. Oh, God! And it feeds on us. Oh, wow!
The Dunkleosteus was certainly showing its
Sick. Believe it or not, this is normal
table manners.
Normal for the bastard Nigel Marven. Next up, our time-traveling crew heads to an era closer to 6 years ago. It's home to the meanest bastard that has ever lived.
There's water everywhere, as far from a desert as you could imagine. If I sight here, the Egyptians would come on my head. The Eocene is the beginning of the time of mammals. They rule the earth, they rule the sea, and as I was about to find out, they even fast.
A pile of dung. It's so fresh you can almost eat it, but oh yeah, if you smell that, it's a really sweet smell. And I think the animal I'm looking for is a sweet sauce.
These creatures have extraordinary horns, and this is what he uses for covering his eyes. You can tell this is a male because they splay out the female's nos. But I really want to eat something. We're sailing right in the middle of the Sahara Desert. And this is the monster that we're looking for, the Loch Ness Monster. And they're getting into real trouble. Because when these fossils were first found in 1832, they were thought to be great big pot-bellied hamsters. But this is in fact a primitive Mexican mole lizard. This one's full grown. They don't get much larger than 20 centimetres or so. Tiny eyes covered in skin. Obviously, if you're spending all your life underground, you don't need to see. This is by far the biggest predator in Eocene seas.
Drop the anchor!
But how on earth do we find one? Got underwater recording equipment here, and if we can eavesdrop on
In one direction.
we should be able to locate where the caves are.
Just crossed on this one.
Shrimps and fish, isn't it? No,
In one direction.
there.
Nothing there.
Let's move off somewhere else.
Okay.
I'm travelling the globe to search out.
In one direction.
But where is
In one direction.
The trouble is, sound travels much farther and faster in water than in air, and he could be miles away. So what we need to do is try to entice him to us. That sound, that eerie sound that you're hearing, that's what we recorded earlier, that's his calls. But we're playing them right out into the ocean with a massive speaker, and hopefully he'll think there's a whale in his territory and come towards us. Scientists have tried
to use their tummies as solar panels. Their tummies have got the least fur on them, and then they can absorb the heat from the sun's rays.
with mixed success, but it was the best hope we had.
massive boaters. They haven't got as big a brain as the modern whales. They're not such social animals. So they may come in person. Wow! Wow! Wow!
A whale on diet pills.
And look at this thing. Compare it with
The top London hotel.
and he's over half the length of, and this really is a fearsome.
Panda ambassador.
I'm glad I'm next to the boat. I wouldn't fancy being.
And the second panda ambassador. Jackie Chan.
So I wish he'd turn this off. It's really starting to distress the world. He's actually bitten in one direction. He's shaking it like miles. So we've lost our speaker. And we had a really brilliant speaker.